Hey guys, it's Kristy back for another video vlog. 2 in 1 week. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's just a few days until the craziness of the World Series of Poker gets started. So my hubs and I have really been so busy, kind of like in preparation, playing a lot of poker and getting our minds and hearts and bodies ready to crush and grind this summer. But this past weekend, we really slowed down. And before we kind of get into some clips, I wanted to introduce this concept to you that has really improved my life and my relationships, and is also one of the biggest keys to creating our vision and like the lives that we want. And it is from the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it's called the Quadrant Theory. It's about how we really look at where we spend our time. So if you can imagine a quadrant like this, and I'm probably gonna put somewhere in this space the picture of what the quadrants are. Quadrant 1 is the important and urgent matters that we all have. We all have to take care of them. These include like crises, right? Crises? Babe? Crises or crises? I'm a writer, I should know this. What'd you say?
I think it's crises.
Crises? These include crises, medical emergencies, pressing things, pressing problems, deadlines, projects, things that your boss puts forth and says it's gotta be due by then. And like last minute preparations, things that you can't really put off because there's going to be some major consequences. That's quadrant 1. Then there's quadrant 2. This is the important but not urgent. And this includes preparation and planning for future events, prevention. This allows us to take time and clarify what our values are, what's really important. We stop and take a look and say, what are we doing with our lives? This includes exercise and relationship building, and it also includes time for actual rest, restoration, and balance, and slowing down and replenishing yourself. This quadrant is actually really tricky because it tricks us into thinking that it's important just because it's urgent, and it's really not. So this includes like interruptions, people calling, emails, meetings, some meetings, you know the meetings that aren't really super important. This includes the people-pleasing stuff that we all do, like saying yes to things that we don't really want to just because it's urgent to other people. And that's why it's called the quadrant of deception, because we think that these things are pressing. But if they actually didn't get done, it wouldn't be a huge deal. And then there's quadrant 4. This is the not important and not urgent. This is where a lot of us spend our time when we're doing busy work, we're handling junk email, and we're doing time wasters, surfing the web, reading trash magazines, and watching mindless TV, and not even present for what we're even doing. This is what we call the quadrant of waste. Now, the reason why this has made such a difference in my life is because what I know to be true about myself is that I'm really a go achiever, and I like to do things that have results. The first thing to go for me when I'm super busy is quadrant 2, because I don't want to rest. I think that's the last thing I need to do. If I don't have time in a day, I just won't exercise. That'll be the thing I cut out. And also, sadly, one of the things that also goes is the time that I spend with the people that I love. It's just kind of my wiring. And I know for lots of you guys, that's also the same for you. It's like we all live busy lives, and sometimes it feels like we don't have enough time for family and friends, or the planning, or even dreaming. But this is the quadrant of quality and personal leadership. This is where our vision actually happens, because all the other stuff isn't really where our true and authentic power comes from, because it's either we're managing crises crises, or we're surfing the web, wasting time, or we're doing busy work or things that aren't really important. All those other things tend to take up a large portion of our day. So it's really important, like, stop and take a look. Where are we spending our time? And in this quadrant 2, where a life of fulfillment, of happiness, of balance comes from, is here. So knowing that, this Saturday, my best friends and my husband wanted to spend the day going to the dog beach. And while that sounded fun, there was still this part of me that was like, oh, but there's so many things that I need to do. I should be playing poker, studying, and all of these other things, like just pulling me. But I slowed myself down and asked myself, what's really important? And we went to the dog beach, and it was incredible.
Professional poker players, it's hard to remember to get outside because you can play anytime. There's always this feeling of like, should I play right now? Should I not play right now? Like, it's Saturday and we could play, but we're here.
Enjoying the dogs and the beach.
Yeah. It is the best. There's dogs everywhere, kids everywhere.
Wait, hold on. Rewind.
Dogs everywhere, kids everywhere.
Did you see that shot? How good was that, right? All right, then that night, we decided to go to dinner and go out because my brother-in-law really wanted to go see DJ Irie at the Omnia in downtown San Diego because they met at Lewis Howe's Summit of Greatness and he was amazing. So we decided to party. I don't think this is really quadrant 2. Maybe this is quadrant 3. But listen, it's part of living a balanced life, right?
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. You're my wonderwall.
Just really quick, once we were in the club, you guys are gonna learn more about Olga. She's my husband's brother's wife, one of my best friends. She is so badass. Like, we got to the club and she was like, excuse me, we're getting in the DJ's booth. So we just like follow her. We're in the DJ's booth, right behind DJ Irie, and we're partying, and she's just so amazing and hardcore, which makes her amazing at her job, which she works in PR for a boutique firm. And she just walks right up and just pours a drink, hands it to me, and we're just like partying, best friends with DJ Irie. So after that, it was Sunday, and Sunday was a very special day. It was my and my husband's 6-year wedding anniversary. Babe! Here he comes.
Not ready to be on camera, but I guess I am.
I like your new hat.
Thanks. It's super in fashion these days. The kids were telling me.
The kids are wearing it?
Yeah, the kids were telling me.
Okay, well, first of all, we forgot our anniversary for the last 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, what did you say about tradition? And
Yeah.
because we had a decision to make.
So we had planned on playing poker that day, and we realized that it was our anniversary that day, and we're like, oh, you know, we could just like do something later, no big deal, just go play, because that was kind of what was on our mind at the time. But what I really like to do, and I think what I really want to do moving forward, is to really honor those traditions, because it gets really easy to say, oh yeah, you know, we'll do something on Sunday when it's more convenient or whatever. And I think when we do that, we kind of lose that moment, that opportunity to really dive in and be grateful and do something fun. And I like the idea of having traditions, and I want to start some that we'll have year in, year out, year in, year out. And especially when we have kids, you know, not just with family, but also create some traditions with friends. You know, I think one thing that I want to do is New Year's. Every year, New Year's, just do a different city. It'll be me and you, and then if some people want to come, then they'll come, and it'll be a tradition. So, yeah, that was my thought on tradition, and I think we really nailed it.
Yeah, we nailed it. See, he just naturally spends time in Quadrant 2. Okay, so on Sunday, we stayed in an awesome hotel and took a walk on the beach.
Today is May 21st, 2017. What does that mean?
That means we've been married 6 years.
6 fucking years.
6 years.
Oh my god, it seems
Hey.
crazy.
You wanna keep going? Or
I mean, I'm in. Are you in? Sure.
yeah,
I mean,
having a good time.
Yeah, it's going, you know, definitely good. Yeah. So Kristy and I are walking down this Manhattan beach here right now, but this whole like boardwalk on both directions, we're just like imagining living down here someday. And it's crazy because so many things in my life that I imagined could happen, like I never really thought that they could actually happen, and they've been happening. So I'm gonna keep with that trend, and I'm gonna imagine us living down here, not on the beach, but really close to the beach.
And taking a walk, we just kind of were like dreaming about our lives here, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to do. It's just like all these beautiful homes on the boardwalk, and you're right on the beach in LA, and it's like you're on the West Coast and the sun sets right over the ocean, and there's so many beautiful sunsets over here. It's like just really easy to go into dreamland.
But here's the other thing. In Quadrant 2, you really stop to take a moment to dream. You know, to you guys, I would just ask, you know, are you guys dreaming? Like, what is your dream? Have you taken time to dream and to spend time
and share it with people? You know, put it out there into the world. I had aspirations and dreams of becoming a professional gambler when I was 19 years old, and 100% across the board, everyone I talked to said that's a big mistake, don't do that, you're moving to Vegas. Nobody thought it was a good idea, and no one thought I could do it. I had a passion for it, and I was like, you know what, if I can't do this, I'll be the one to figure this out, to come up against it and say, you know what, I tried and I can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so cliche to say, but don't listen to the other people out there that tell you can or can't do something, because there's so many people out there that have had a lot of people in their lives give them a lot of reasons why they can't have what they want, like a lot of very logical reasons. But the human spirit, what's inside of us, is so resilient and so powerful. And when you really tap into your own and you really test yourself, I think you'll be able to really surprise yourself in a lot of areas. And also you'll come up against it, and you can come up short, and there's a lot of really valuable lessons in that. And I think that builds character, and that adversity is so important for people, because I think I have a lot of character. I laugh saying that because the adversity that I had to face in that figuring out period, it was a very challenging time trying to learn poker, but that's a whole nother story. But it built a lot of strength and a lot of courage and a lot of character in a lot of ways. Without that experience, I would have been a much more weak-minded, less dynamic person. And so, you know, put yourself out there. Don't be fucking. I didn't know what to say. I was like, don't be fucking around or something.
Yeah, quit fucking around in 1, 3, and 4. Fuck around in Quadrant 2. Plan and go for it. Spend time on your dreams. Quit fucking around.
Quit fucking around, man. I didn't know. I was thinking about myself and how much time I spent fucking around, and I was like, I'm gonna tell these guys to quit fucking around.